Good evening, I'm Elena Verdine and welcome to The 7. We're going to get a look at the big 7 stories right now, and topping our list, a blast at a Tennessee military explosives plant leaves some feared dead. Just take a look. You can see the destruction left behind, and this was taken from the air. Now, this happened about 60 miles southwest of Nashville at Accurate Energetic Systems, which is in the Bucksnort area of Hickman County. At last update tonight, 19 people were missing. One emergency management spokesperson says there is no further danger of explosions and the scene was under control as of this afternoon. Emergency crews hadn't been able to enter that plant because of some ongoing detonations. The company has not responded to requests for comments. Next now on The 7, the National Guard has arrived in Memphis following deployment orders from Governor Bill Lee. Now, 2 Tennessee Democratic lawmakers joined a growing list of legislators who are pushing back. Memphis Representatives Justin Pearson and Gabby Salinas claim in a letter to the governor and Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti the deployment of the National Guard is unconstitutional. They cite the state constitution, which says the General Assembly must approve a militia deployment in cases of rebellion or invasion. Instead of Guard members, the Memphis lawmakers are asking the governor for $10 billion for health care, public transit, violence intervention programs, and more. Representative Pearson says that money will help move people out of poverty, which he says is the real reason behind the crime.
What happens when this task force leaves? What happens when the National Guard leaves? We are left with the same community that has been traumatized and without any solutions to deal with the root causes of the problem.
Now, we have asked Governor Lee if the National Guard deployment violated the state constitution. The governor deferred to the Attorney General, who he says he trusts to interpret the law accurately. Next now on The 7, a 60-year-old man has now died from his injuries after Knoxville police say he was assaulted at the Broadway Shopping Center last month. KPD says Brian Overby was found at that shopping center with a number of injuries to both his head and his face. He was taken to UT Medical Center for treatment, where we're told his condition got worse. Now, anyone with information that could help with the investigation is asked to reach out to the East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers at 865-215-7165. Next now on The 7, we're learning that 2 people have been charged after a crash involving a Sevier County Sheriff's Office deputy. This crash happened on Boyds Creek Highway last week, and a preliminary report from the Tennessee Highway Patrol says a pickup driven by 19-year-old Dalton Edwards hit a Ford Mustang that was stopped in the road. The pickup then went into the opposite lane and hit that deputy's car. Edwards was charged with failing to exercise due care. 27-year-old Tatum McDonald, the driver of the Mustang, was charged with financial responsibility violations. Next now on The 7, the Tennessee State Fire Marshal's Office is continuing its efforts to support volunteer departments across East Tennessee through its grant program. Knox County Rescue is one of the many volunteer groups that got some funding from the grant, being awarded over $45,000 out of the $3 million given to rescue squads across Tennessee. Knox County Rescue is using these funds to buy some new gear, sets of boots, gloves, jackets, hats, and helmets for missions, including trench rescues. The volunteers have also received new swiftwater rescue and dive gear, as it has been more of top of mind since Hurricane Helene.
If you send people out to do a job and they don't have the proper equipment, it could put them in peril too. So if we go out and we get hurt, we're not going to do anybody else any good.
Chief Brian Townsend with Knox County Rescue, who you just heard from, adds that the plan is to order some more gear soon. On your side with a traffic alert now, Knox County drivers, be aware that I-275 will have some intermittent lane closures starting on Monday, and this will be happening in the area of the bridge that is at Elm Street and Bernard Avenue, which have seen a few weekend closures this summer for a bridge replacement project. TDOT says this latest round of closures will be affecting traffic in both directions, which crews will be installing pavement markings and traffic control devices. TDOT says the intermittent closures will be happening nightly from about 7 p.m. until 6 a.m. until next Friday morning. And tonight, farmers in East Tennessee are feeling the impact of some rising inflation across the country. In 2024, American soybeans were a nearly $25 billion export, but now, just a year later, China has bought 0 soybeans from the U.S. Many are pointing to tariffs as the reason that Tennessee farmers are struggling this harvest season. Mark Klepper is the owner of Woodlawn Farms, and he says the price of fertilizer alone has more than tripled since he started farming, while the price he can sell his goods for has largely stayed the same.
The input costs have gone up. Our crop prices are the same now that they've been for the last 3 or 4 years. And really, if you look back, I mean, other than a few peaks in a few years, this is the same prices we've had for the last 40 years.
Now, Klepper suggests a long-term fix would be increasing demand domestically to support farmers across the country. But if that doesn't happen, eventually farmers will need to look at not producing the products they can't sell. And the Tennessee State Board of Education is making some changes to the state's teacher licensure system that aims to make it a little easier for districts to fill classrooms and keep the educators in them a little longer. The proposed rules also extend the duration of standard teaching licenses, moving practitioner licenses from 3 years to 4 and professional licenses from 6 years to 11. Officials say the move would reduce paperwork, ease renewal backlogs, and provide more stability for teachers and districts. The updates would also clear up confusion over the use of clinical practice permits, which are temporary credentials that allow student teachers to lead classrooms. Well, as the leaves and seasons start to change, fall allergy season is upon us. Typically starting in early August, lasting until the first freeze of the winter. Ragweed and mold are the common culprits for your allergies, but another common creature could be contributing. That's the hackberry woolly aphid. As they stick around with our warmer weather, black sooty mold is attracted to that honeydew they secrete, according to the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, which could actually be making your symptoms worse. Allergist Ty Prince at the Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology Center says if you're feeling those fall allergy symptoms, there are a few ways to help.
Avoid it if you can. That means staying inside the house and having a good filter in your central air system, but also in your car putting on a recycled air and doing that with your windows rolled up, which is not a good, not the most comfortable thing in the fall. It's a great time to have your windows open if you don't have allergies.
And Prince says many of his patients are coming in this time of year because of the ragweed and mold, and other medications or immunizations are also available for anyone seeking relief.